I just enjoy my music, my techno music, because I find more gospel in techno than what I find gospel in praise and worship gospel music. I find praise and worship gospel music to be demonic. Once your mind is woken up since you've been chased out of church, your mind wakes up to the lies and the indoctrination of people, by institutions, by groups of people. So let's get straight into it. The word Semite. It's got nothing to do with Jews. It's got nothing to do with Israelis. Unless we want to go and change the meaning of Semite. The meaning of Semite is Western Asian. That's Indian people, mostly. That's in the part of that world. Go and look on the map, on the world map, where Western Asia is. Middle Eastern countries are not part of Asia. Middle Eastern countries are basically between Asia and Europe and Africa. They where the Bible mostly played off. They where the human race started off. They where the Garden of Eden was supposed to be. Middle Eastern countries, these Egyptians, Arabians, and Jews, or Israelites, or now that's another one. Is it Israelites or is it Jews? What's the difference? Why do we call Israelites Jews? Why do we call Jews Israelites? I was born and raised in South Africa, and we got a saying in South Africa, typical Jew boy. It's the Indians and the Jews that like to say, no discount, no discount, no discount. We eat very, very hot curry. The Jews are just 10 times worse than the Indians. They just don't say no discount, they just say it's very inexpensive. Very inexpensive. But yeah, Middle Eastern countries are Israelites, Arabians, half Arabian, half Israelite, Egyptian, half Israelite, Israelite, half Egyptian, half Arabian. That's Middle Eastern countries. Now there's another thing that plays off, and that is Asia and Europe. I mean, technically we should call it Euro-Asia, or Euro-Ace, or Ace-Euro, because it's just a line that's been drawn up by people that drew the maps of the world. It's not two different separate continents. But because the Asian people dislike the Europeans and the Europeans dislike the Asians, people said, okay, let's throw a line. There's Asian people, there's European people. But now if you look at Russia, Russia sits in Asia, and Russia's people are basically Europeans. So go and figure that one out. I'm not being ugly or nasty, but if people I've learned to, or tend to learn one thing in life. If people start using a certain wording in the general public, and it makes me feel weird or strange for people using a certain word, like that gut feeling. Now, apparently, according to Siberia, or what's that, Czechoslovakia? No, Scandinavia. The word God in Scandinavian language means gut. And they pronounce God gut. So maybe that's where that statement comes from. If you get that gut feeling, it's God. I don't know, but it's just strange, you know. But yeah, if you listen to all these professional people speaking and they're using certain wording, and you look at it like, now that's strange, then you know there's something off about it. And when, in the last year and a half, when people started using the word Semite, Semitism, yada da 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 da, then something felt off about it to me, for me. And I decided to go and look up the word Semite. And it came out to be Western Asian. That's Indians. Not Israelites. Indiana. People that eat very, very hot curry. Yemena. But yeah, thanks to the British, we need to accept the word Semite is Jewish. Bullshit! Shit the bull! Don't shit the bull and then you say bullshit. You know, since I've been chased out of church, I went to 2 other churches. Awesome praise and worship music and everything. Kind of small churches. And I was standing there at the back, and my very first thoughts in praise and worship in those 2 churches was, God, I don't belong here. All these people are families. I don't belong here. I don't have a family. I don't belong here. With tears in my eyes. The stuff that I know today, I should have known in my 20s. But yeah, I come from a disabled background. You can look at it in different ways. My mother fed me too much medication, too much penicillin, too much child medication, and I was asleep for 2 weeks. My father at one stage said he had to rush me to hospital, and the doctor said, no, just let him sleep it over. So I was basically in a coma for 2 weeks. Didn't know what was going on around me for 2 weeks in my life at the age of 2. My dad told me if that didn't happen, the signs were there that I would have turned out to be a genius. Then Elon Musk could have gone to sleep. Then I would have put ears on Elon Musk and Einstein. Then I would have been the one that carried technology forward for the human race. But yeah, certain things happen for a certain reason in life. My dad told me at the age of 2, I spoke fluently. And I didn't speak gossip, I didn't babble. I spoke sensible stuff at the age of 2. Now you can take it in different directions and say, oh, that's why he doesn't have any teeth. Because of too much medication while growing up. Medication breaks down the body. Breaks down the calcium in the body. But yeah, life happens for a certain reason. Apparently. So yeah. And just the other day I came across a post on Facebook, social media, call it what you want. Social media gives a platform for the people that's not popular, like myself. That's why churches and political people and professional people hate and dislike social media and speak things of social media will be the destruction of humanity. No, it will be the destruction of people that think they should rule the world. Because now you get a platform where people can speak up and say, ah, we know more than the professional people. We are actually the professional people. What made me look up the word Semite on Google? Oh, the internet is there. I don't need to go to a library. I've been educated. I've been in school. So I just go out and seek the nearest school, and it's online. If you've got a bad voice and you're bad looking, social media is the place where you share information. Because you're talking to a camera. And like myself, nobody comments on my shit. Because I talk shit. I looked up where the visa system came from. The visa system we get in passports to be able to enter a certain country. To be able to enter different kind of countries across the world. And it goes about control. It started up in the 1920s. The League of Nations started the visa system. And then I came across another video where a guy explained the League of Nations. Germany was part of the League of Nations. Who was Germany? Oh, the Nazis, Hitler, Heil Hitler. So currently today, we're carrying the ideals of Hitler and we take it forward. So did the Nazis and the Japanese really lose the Second World War? Because if you look at it, Japan is the leader in technology. Germany's ideals are being carried forward. a second world war, then you've got a second thing coming. Because we're controlling people, just like Hitler controlled people. And he said, here's the visa system to the League of Nations in the 1920s. And today we're still implementing the visa system. Oops, ouch. I wonder who's, a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, I wonder who started using the word Semite on Israel and Jews. Because Jews and Israel, Jews/Israelites are not Middle Eastern, are not Middle Western. Western Asian. I'm getting the words mixed up. Why do we call Middle Eastern countries Middle Eastern countries? I mean, if East to West goes around the world, and there's no stopping point of yes East and there's West. Technically speaking, we can say both American continents are the eastern part of the world. Technically. Or we can say Australia sits on the east side of the world. Or we can say Australia is the Middle Eastern country. What makes north to be north and south to be south? Why can't we say south is north and north is south? Oh, that will configure people's minds. People's minds are too narrow-minded to accept to what actually is. Oh no, we're living on a flat earth and Japan is on the east side and America is on the west side, Hawaii is on the west side, and we're surrounded by a big white ice wall, flat earth theory. No wonder people come up with a theory of flat earth, because if you start saying this is the eastern countries, this is the western eastern countries, this is middle eastern countries, this is the west countries, and people will, their little minds will wrap around it on, oh, there's the start, there's the finish line. You can't go south to north to south to north to south to north. You have to travel like this. Why don't planes travel over the Northern Pole? Because if planes travel over the Northern Pole, then from New York it would be a shorter distance to go to Japan and traveling west to east or west to west over the Pacific or over the Atlantic. Gravity, and gravity is a little bit less in the North Pole and the South Pole, and it will throw out the passenger planes' compasses, meaning your height above sea level becomes weird if you fly over the South Pole or the North Pole. The instruments cannot take it. The instruments runs wild when you go over the North Pole or the South Pole. I wonder why it's like that. Because the Earth ain't round. It's oval shaped. And there's more gravity east to west than there's gravity south to north. Nothing throw out the instruments of a plane if you run east to west. But if you run over the North Pole, then it throws out the instruments. Then the pilot says, oh shit, something is happening. But yeah, that's humanity for you. Meaning, we got computers, we got artificial intelligence, and we still haven't come up with instruments on planes that's capable of saying, okay, gravity works a little bit different over the North Pole than flying over the oceans east to west. We still cannot program a computer that can calculate and correct the calculations. But we got computers, we got AI. I spoke to my brother that's in computer programming, and he said to me, AI cannot go any further. AI is the furthest it can go, because AI is dependent on the one programming it. So still, AI isn't really AI. There's nothing artificial about AI. Yeah, it can go 10% out of its own programming, out of the one that programs it. 10% evolution, creation. You create something and it starts thinking by itself. It's like God creating the human race, Adam and Eve. God creates the human race, and the human race starts thinking and saying, oh, but God is God. And then what? Angels dislike it, and there's a war in eternity, and angels say, no, but humans should be like this, and other angels say, no, humans shouldn't be like this, and that's where you get fallen angels and non-fallen angels, and angels in heaven and angels in hell, and angels all over the place. Can we carry on with the ridiculous thinking of what is and what ain't? Why people use the word Semite and instead of Israel? Why people use the word Israel, Jews instead of Israel? Why people use the word Israel, Israelites instead of Jewish? But hey, don't let me freak your mind. Wait until other professional people come up with, oh, but we're using the word Semite totally wrong. Wait until Piers Morgan says, or Tucker Carlson says, we're using the word Semite wrong. Don't take it to what Raymond says. Fuck Raymond. Raymond is a nobody. Just like Julie Royce. Without social media, Julie Royce would have been a nobody. Just another person on FM radio. A brunette on FM radio. But because of social media, we've come to know that Julie Royce is a blonde. Am I being ridiculous, or am I being ridiculous? Or am I being ridiculous of ridiculous to the ridiculous about the ridiculousness? It's like Mega coming out with the word Antifa. Antifa is an organization. No, it's a definition of a character of a person. It's like ISIS. Trump said he destroyed ISIS. Well, on YouTube, just don't tell me that I didn't warn you. On YouTube, you go and punch in ISIS, and you come up on ISIS Fashion Awards 2022, 2023, 2024, and it's totally naked models walking in front of professional clothed people on a catwalk, totally naked. But not Trump destroyed ISIS. ISIS don't exist anymore. Then why do you get the ISIS Fashion Awards? Go and check it out. No blurriness. No blurriness on YouTube. You get to see fully naked women and maybe one or two naked men. That's also models. Most YouTube channels blurs out nakedness, but the ISIS Fashion Awards on YouTube doesn't blur out nakedness. It's like Megyn Kelly. She can use the word fuck as many times as she wants to. Then you get to other YouTube channels and beep, yabba ba 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 beep, yabba ba 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 beep. Every channel on YouTube gets censored, but Megyn Kelly's YouTube channel doesn't get censored. Why is she allowed to use the word fuck, but nobody else can use the word fuck? Why am I using the word fuck? To wake up certain individuals. Don't be afraid to what you want to say on YouTube. If Megyn Kelly can do it, can speak about things, then you and I can speak about things. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say, hey, but you're getting the Semite word totally wrong. And that's my point of view.